Jama. In this video, we are going to talk about Chinnamasta, which is our sixth Mahavidya. Chinnamasta is the thunderbolt of Tantra, the goddess who stands at the razor edge between life and death, desire and liberation, creation and annihilation. She is the most startling of all Mahavidyas because she cuts off her own head and holds it in her hand, her severed neck spraying three jets of blood, one into her own mouth and the other two into the mouths of her attendants, Dakini and Varnini. Yet she stands completely calm, blissful, balanced, naked, luminous, strong, atop a couple locked in sexual union. This entire scene is not grotesque, it is the deepest symbolic revelation of spiritual truth. When she severs her head, she is cutting the ego, the eye maker, the identity that keeps the soul bound in illusion. Her act shows that enlightenment is not gained by running from life, but by cutting the false self in the midst of life's strongest forces. The three streams of blood represent icchā, desire, jñāna, wisdom, and kriyā, action, the three cosmic energies flowing freely once the ego is removed. Her self decapitation is the ultimate surrender, the moment when the limited mind melts and divine consciousness takes over. She stands atop a copulating couple because Tantra teaches that desire is the doorway to awakening when awareness governs it. She cuts her head exactly at the peak of life force rising, symbolizing that the highest bliss is born when energy is transformed rather than suppressed. Psychologically, she is the goddess who forces you to face your deepest attachments, your strongest cravings, your darkest fears, and to liberate yourself right there, without escape. Chinnamasta is the Devi of radical awakening. She demands total awareness in the middle of chaos, total freedom in the middle of desire, total fearlessness in the presence of death. She represents the moment of spiritual lightning when Kundalini bursts through the heart and cuts the identity clean, leaving a fierce, silent clarity in its place. Devotees who connect with her experience sudden insight, sudden awakening, and courage to break addictions, old patterns, emotional wounds, because she destroys the roots, not the symptoms, but the truth that shocks you awake. The sword that cuts ends the dream. The mother who says, "You want to be free, then lose your head, drop your ego, cut your fear, become the raw eternal self." Chinnamasta is not the goddess of death, she is the goddess of instant enlightenment, the flash of consciousness that liberates the soul from everything false in a single stroke. Standing beside Chinnamasta are her two attendants, Dakini and Varnini, sometimes called Dakini and Rakini, fierce, naked, hungry embodiments of life force that flows through all beings. They are not servants in ordinary sense, they are extensions of Goddess' own energy, representing the left and the right channels of the subtle body, Ida and Pingala, through which prana circulates. When Chinnamasta cuts off her own head, the three jets of blood symbolizes the three pathways of Kundalini, Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna, the central channel. These are the three nadis. What takes her so astonishing is that she feeds each attendant with these three streams of blood, giving them nourishment even as she nourishes herself, symbolizing that awakened Kundalini nourishes every channel of consciousness, not just the central one. Dakini and Varnini represent the two primal impulses within every human, one toward worldly experience and one toward spiritual awakening. By feeding both simultaneously, Chinnamasta teaches that enlightenment does not require killing desire or the senses. It requires awareness, balance, and mastery over them. And beneath her feet lies the most misunderstood symbol of all, a couple in erotic union, usually depicted as Kama, the god of desire, and Rati, his consort. They are not sinners to be crushed, they are the raw cosmic polarity through which life force circulates. Chinnamasta, standing upon them, represents the moment when Kundalini rises during intense life energy, especially at the peak of desire, the point where most people become unconscious, but the yogi becomes supremely aware. She cuts her head at the precise moment because the highest spiritual breakthrough happens not by avoiding desire but by transcending it while standing inside it. The couple symbolizes the union of male and female energies, the dance of polarity, the fertile ground of creation, the intense surge of prana that rises in passion. Chinnamasta, placing her feet upon them, shows that she stands above desire, not to destroy it, but to ride it skillfully, transforming its raw power into pure awakening. These three attendants are the lovers, complete her iconography, revealing her secret. Enlightenment is not about suppression, it is about transformation, not about escape, but about mastery, not about killing life, but about drinking its energy with total awareness. Jai Ma Chinnamasta.